Hi everyone, Richard Robbins here. I recently did a video, and what I was talking about, or at least predicting what I thought was going to happen in the Toronto real estate market based on Ontario's new housing plan. It got almost 40,000 views, so it got a lot of attention. And I got two questions, and I want to answer those questions for all of you. The first question was, where was I getting all of the information? And I was getting all the information from the local real estate board. So all of you can go to your local real estate board to get this information, because that's where I got it. But number two, people were asking me, well, how do you calculate months of inventory and some of the things you're talking about? So what I want to do is I want to give you an idea how I did it, and this way you can do it in your own market. Now, here's what I've done. I've went to the Calgary real estate market. Doesn't matter what market it is. I do Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto, right? We could do one down the U.S. We do Halifax. Any market you can do this with. I just picked Calgary so I can show you how this works. And then what happens is you have what I call real estate intelligence. And if you have real estate intelligence, you can have valuable conversations with buyers and sellers. Because you remember I said before, I said the value you're going to bring to the marketplace is the difference between what it is they know and what you communicate to them they do not know. Most buyers and sellers today think they know as much as you. So you have to make sure that you express yourself or communicate in a way that you're giving them insights, not just information. Information is readily available. People can get information anywhere, but what does the information mean? So don't worry about the information. Take the information and create the insights, and that's what this is all about. So let's look at the market. Let me show you how I do these calculations, but also how I break them down in different sectors in the real estate market. So if we look up here, April 16, April 17, this is Calgary, everybody. So if we look at all residential sales, sales were 1,768 in 16 and 1,906 in April of 17. New listings came on the market, 3,200 and 3,200. This was a little higher, but not that much. Now, I'm not as concerned about this. It's an important number, but when you're calculating months of inventory, this is what I want to see. Active listings. In other words, how many homes are on the market? What is the competition if I want to sell? So in the month of April of 2017, we had 5,513 active listings. That's a competition for sellers. We had 1,906 sold. So if I take this number and divide this number into that, that means I have 2.9 months of inventory. So really what it means is about 1/3 of the homes that were on the market. 1/3 of these homes roughly sold, which means 2/3 did not sell. Now, is that a valuable conversation? Can you imagine saying to a potential seller, well, we're in a market right now where about 1/3 of the homes that go to market are selling on a monthly basis and 2/3 are not, because they might be thinking everything is selling, especially if you're in that sort of $500,000 or $600,000 price range in Calgary where they're still getting multiple offers. So that's how you get the inventory. But look at this. Average price in 16 was $476,000, $495,000 in 19 or 17, I should say, which means the average price increased by $18,000, which was an increase of 3.85%. Now, supply and demand will always determine price. Obviously, if we have low supply, high demand in any market, not just real estate, but in anything, prices are going to go up. If we have a lot of supply and very little demand, obviously prices are going to go down. But where's the balance, right? How many months of inventory do we need to have before we actually have a balanced market? Well, the number is about 5. It starts at about 5, okay, and up to about 6. So between 5 and 6 months of inventory, you've got a very balanced market. Not a buyer's market, not a seller's market, but balanced. But once you go below 5 months of inventory, you start to have more of a seller's market. You go above 6 months of inventory, you start to move towards a buyer's market. So look at Calgary. What's going on in Calgary? Buyer's market or seller's market? Definitely a seller's market right now. And based on the seller's market, what happened with average price? Price went up. Prices are going to rise in a seller's market, obviously, and they're going to go down in a buyer's market. They went up by 3.85%. Now, let's break it down. Let's look at detached, because here's the secret to making this work. You can't just use the general numbers when you're on a listing presentation or working with a buyer. You've got to talk specifically about the market that they're in. So you might choose a geographical area where you're going to do the numbers. Maybe you choose detached, attached, condos, right? So let's look at detached. So if we look at Detached, in April of 17, obviously you can see sales were 1,195, active listings 2,537. So what does that mean? We only had 2.1 months of inventory. So what percentage of the active listings are selling on a monthly basis? Obviously right around 50%. So in other words, if you look at the detached market, it is stronger with only 2.1 months of inventory than all of the residential markets. Do you see that? Which means prices should have went up a little bit more because we had less inventory. Well, look at this. They went up by 21,376, which is 3.95%. So they went up marginally more. Why? Because we had less inventory, less months of inventory. Now, can you imagine having this conversation with a potential buyer or a potential seller? Like, this is valuable information where you can help them make better decisions. But let's look at apartments and condos. Look over here. So April 17, 286 sold. We have 1,655 on the market, which means how many months of inventory do we have? 5.8. Now, where did I say the balanced market was? Balanced market was between 5 months of inventory and 6 months of inventory. So that would tell us if we've got 5.8 months of inventory, what should happen with prices? Pretty well nothing, right? Because it's a balanced marketplace. What happened with prices? Look at the average price was $302, $303, went up by $630, like nothing, which means it went up by 0.2%. So the value in this and you understanding this in your marketplace for all different properties. So you've got to break them all down every month. If you're going on a listing presentation, say in a certain geographical area, well, you want to have the active listings, okay, and how many sold last month, the month before that, and you start graphing that. And now what you can do is you can have extremely valuable conversations with potential sellers as well as buyers. Now, once you can have a valuable conversation because you have what I call real estate intelligence, you're a true professional, is commission going to become less of an issue? Of course it is, because now they see value in you, and now they look at you as being a trusted advisor that is going to help them make the right decision. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. All of you can get this information just by going online, looking at your board numbers. Obviously, you're a member of the board. I'm not. I can get the information. So what I want you to do is have a little fun with this, play around with some of the numbers, get to know it, get to understand it so it's second nature to you. It might look a little confusing at first. I get that. But believe me, it's very, very simple. All you got to do is play around with the numbers, get a pen and paper, go on the board, look at some of the numbers, and find out what's going on in your market. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. And remember, everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.